Prototyping is an extension of your design. This is the phase in the project's workflow where designers and teams bring their conversations to life and are able to test, learn, and iterate on their original ideas before they're launched or moved into development. At Voiceflow, our platform helps you design as close to parity as possible, whether that is for Alexa, Google Assistant, IVR, chat, or custom assistants. Each step you design on our canvas represents real code that allows anyone, whether it's the designer themselves, a teammate, or a user, to experience prototypes as though they were the live product. Prototyping is more than just an iterative stage between design and publish. It's a foundational tool in every designer's toolkit. It lets you run rapid prototyping so you can hear your ideas in action, discover all the necessary edge cases and repair paths, and interact with all the possible paths through your experience. This speeds up your process by allowing you to interact with any design with the push of a button, quickly make changes, and replay those iterations in seconds. Prototypes enable user testing so you can get customer feedback in your designs even before you launch. With live prototyping, you're able to test your design with customers to discover valuable feedback and issues before you write a line of code. Whether you're running moderated in-person sessions or remote unmoderated tests, Voiceflow will support you learning from your customers. Prototypes create a much more engaging, interactive experience when demoing with your stakeholders, giving you a better tool to communicate your ideas, concepts, and designs to your team. And lastly, prototypes create better developer handoff. Beyond the flow, prompts, and response content of your project, there is so much more information that developers need to build a functional conversation experience. The interaction model, user states, context, and logic system of your conversation design can all be demonstrated and communicated with your prototype, making it a crucial artifact in your handoff to developers.
At Voiceflow, we believe that prototyping is the catalyst for great conversation design. And as more designers and their teams push the boundaries of what's possible with voice and conversation design, we know that they need tools that better embody the end user experience and the platforms that they're building for. With each new push, we're closing that gap between the design and the development workflow, making it easier for teams to build one centralized source of truth across all of their design projects. And here are just a few of the philosophies and features that make that possible. With our no-code development platform, we make it easy for anybody, no matter their technical background, to build a design that's run on true code. That means that with each project that's created in Voiceflow, it comes fully loaded with its own dialogue manager, making it easy to do that handoff for development, better inform live produced apps off of that design, or inform how you can run it. Although each of our prototypes are just as powerful as those generated with code, we understand that more advanced users and developers sometimes require a little bit more flexibility or customization when it comes to their projects. That's why each one of the projects in Voiceflow comes jam-packed with loads of customizable features and blocks. This enables anybody to be able to inject code where they need, to access APIs to enhance their prototype or their design, or export to a JSON file, a .vf, or raw formats, if that works better in their workflow. We know that translating design into code means that we need to support a pipeline between those two environments. With each project in Voiceflow, we make it easy to create a strong pipeline of information between wherever you host it and the design itself. So whether you choose to host it in the Alexa developer console, or perhaps even on your own, with your design, we ensure that that code is sound and speaks freely to whatever platform you choose to publish to. Because each prototype is interactive by nature, this means that you don't have to limit yourself by sending just static assets or requirements to your developer teammates. This means that you can share a fully immersive, interactive experience or individual functional components to make it easier for them to understand your design. Meaning that you can share the interaction model itself, the dialogue manager, or even just response content if that's what's needed. Our goal with prototyping is to create a common language between designers and developers, and to create a common artifact that speeds up and simplifies the handoff between these two teams.
The testing experience in Voiceflow has been created to provide the designer and their team as much context as possible about the experience being created. The quality of your conversation designs are often hard to evaluate until you hear and see them in action, so we want to enable you to switch seamlessly between your design workflow and testing and back again. Conversational experiences being designed on Voiceflow are increasingly multimodal, so we want you to be able to test every single modality of input and output that your users would have available to them. And when things go wrong and you uncover those dreaded unhappy paths, we want to make sure that you have the tools to diagnose, understand what went wrong, and figure out how to fix it. Let's take a look at how this works inside the Voiceflow test tool. We know you want to jump quickly from your designs into your prototypes to test, so we're optimizing our prototype tool for quick access. Jump into a test with a keyboard shortcut to begin from your project's start, or hit the play button on any block to jump into your testing from that design.
Okay, I have made that payment for you. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Once your test begins, you can manually navigate back and forth through the experience to quickly replay portions and test different paths. Make a transfer.
Who should I send this to?
Actually, let's go back. Show me my spending history.
How many days of transactions should I show?
In the test tool, we want to give you a 360-degree view of your projects so that you can get as much context as is needed to create a great design. You can interact with your projects in all the ways that your users would.
Hi, how can I help you?
Whether that's with suggestion chips, text input, or voice input. Make a $25 transfer to Emily.
When should I send this?
And new in Voiceflow is support for visuals. You can view all of the on-screen aspects of your conversation design in line with the voice and text experience. February 23rd.
Okay, sending $25 to Emily on February 23rd. Is this correct?
Yes.
Okay, I have made that payment for you. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Whether this is mockups for your custom in-app assistant or fully interactive APL code from your Alexa skill, you can test the complete multimodal user experience that you're building right here in the test tool. And when you're finally ready to stress test your designs, you have the ability to configure each test to represent different user states. So if I, for example, want to see how this handles sending a $100,000 e-transfer to Emily, I can change those variables and run the test again. If things go wrong, simply enable the debug mode to show you all of the back-end logic for your conversation so you can quickly identify where things have errored. And finally, to get a true sense of your project experience, it needs to be powered by a proper NLP/NLU. We have recently introduced smart prototyping into the Voiceflow test tool. This allows you to train your project's NLP/NLU using all the data that you've already designed into your interaction model. Each intent, utterance, slot, and slot value will be used to train your prototype so that it has all of the intelligence and flexibility that a live assistant would offer. Anytime your model gets updated, we'll let you know when it's time to retrain it right here in the test tool. And with the push of a button, you can train that model. Now your testing will be sure to match all of the utterances that are relevant to your project's model.
Hi, how can I help you?
I really need to make a transfer ASAP.
Who should I send this to?
And for the highest fidelity testing possible, Voiceflow offers one-click uploads to the Alexa Developer Console and the Google Actions Console. This enables you to quickly upload your projects to their developer environments and use each platform's proprietary NLP/NLU in their development tools, or even on device, to test your projects. With the click of a button, you can hop over into the developer environment and begin your test.
Welcome to Voiceflow's Banking Assistant. How can I help today?
That's a quick overview on how the Voiceflow test experience is being built to support your designer and team workflow. Now, let's take a look at how it can support your testing and feedback collection.
Shareable prototypes give you the flexibility to customize your experience to suit your brand, whatever assets you want to share, or even toggle whether or not it's a voice-only, chat-only, or multimodal experience, really allowing you to take control over the prototype that the users that interact with it experience, making it one step closer to what your launch experience could be.
With our multi-channel banking assistant project, we want to test this experience across each channel we're designing for, whether it's Alexa, IVR, in-app, or website chat. For each of these channels, we're going to want to customize the prototype experience to match, making it easier for your stakeholders and customers to experience your design as it's intended. First, we'll take a look at our Alexa project. For this prototype, we want it to behave exactly as it would when testing on Alexa's developer environment. So we'll select the voice and dialogue option from the share options. When you open this link, you can run your test with the prototype using the voice input, and the transcript will appear as you interact.
Welcome back to your Voiceflow banking assistant. How can I help today?
Send a transfer to Emily.
For how much?
$50.
Okay, sending $50 to Emily. Should I take care of that now?
Next, for our in-app banking assistant prototype. For this experience, we relied heavily on visuals. In this project, we've actually used visual steps to transition the image shown in each turn in the conversation. And when you're ready to test, we'll select the voice and visuals option from the prototype share menu. You can just copy the link right there. And when we open this on a mobile device, we get a full screen visual experience where the user can interact with their voice.
Hi, how can I help you?
To input a response, the user just needs to touch the screen. Show me my recent transactions.
How many days of transactions should I show?
30.
You have spent $6,420 in the past 30 days. Would you like more detail?
Yes.
Here are your 5 most recent transactions. Anything else I can help you with?
Up next, we'll configure our prototype for our bank's website chat. For this, we'll select the text and dialogue option from the share menu. When we test it, it will give us a fully functional chat experience that allows the user to interact by typing or by using suggestion chips. Finally, we'll jump into our IVR banking assistant. To best test this, we want to simulate the call experience as much as possible. To recreate that, we've added a single visual step at the start of our project with a dial pad image. This will show on screen for the entire duration of the test. And when we select the voice and visuals option and open that link, we'll get a near one-to-one experience that a user would get with an actual IVR just by starting the conversation.
Good afternoon, welcome to VF Bank. Please have your client card or credit card ready for input. Tell me, how can I help you?
Hey there, help me make a transfer, please?
Sure thing. To get started, please enter your 10-digit client card number.
This level of flexibility not only offers a more extensive look into your prototyping experience, but also makes it easier than ever to create a true mock of your experience before launch. This makes it easier for users to understand your vision and easier for you to collect data on their reactions.
While enhanced prototyping and design are great for design and validation, for many, the process doesn't end just there. At Voiceflow, we not only want to create the best-in-class design tool, we also want to create the easiest way to hand off your projects from design to development.